Hola viewers! Sweating is actually good for your health because it boosts your mood and improves your sleep cycle. Sadly though, sweating isn't necessarily good for your skin as it can cause rashes and allergies. On top of that, it kinda stinks. Don't worry, there are many ways to deal with this. You can try applying antiperspirant before going to sleep. You can even try wearing clothes that are more breathable. In other words, you have a lot of options, and in this video, we'll talk about all of them. Number 1. Wear breathable fabrics. It's summer and the temperatures are soaring up towards a thrilling 90 degrees Fahrenheit. If you're unlucky, then it may reach 100. The humidity may also reach somewhere between 70 to 90%. In these temperatures, wearing that favorite black polyester t-shirt is not the way to go. If you do, you might end up with a lot of sweat because non-breathable fabric like polyester doesn't really help to circulate the air as freely as breathable fabric like cotton. This is why shifting to cotton t-shirts may be the way to go for you. On top of that, clothes that are lighter in color may be a better option. Those clothes do a better job of reflecting the sunlight than clothes that are of darker color. So maybe you can just not wear all those gray and black t-shirts this summer. Number 2. Keep yourself cool. There are many reasons for sweating, and one of them is that the body feels the need to stay cool. If you stay cool all the time, then you're reducing the chances of getting sweat. There are many ways of achieving this. For example, you can keep a bowl of ice in front of a fan to keep the rooms cool. If that doesn't work for you, you can keep the curtains drawn during the day and keep the heat out. This shouldn't allow the room temperature to spike unexpectedly. Apart from that, there's another thing you can try doing, and it's probably a little bit easier. You can avoid the sun by carrying an umbrella when you're outside, and you can also try staying in the shade when you're outside. Are you liking this video? If yes, click subscribe and ring that notification bell. This way you'll stay up to date on our latest content. Number 3. Eat smaller meals. Heavier meals are more nutritious, without a doubt. Sadly, with those nutrients also comes a lot of carbohydrates and fats. All of these things contribute to producing more and more body heat. The excessive body heat means that you'll sweat even more. This is where you have to be careful with your diet. You have to make sure you're staying hydrated, and while you need the protein, it is probably better to cut down on the fats as well as the carbohydrates. So, why do these components produce more body heat? Well, they aren't the ones that produce the body heat. Your body produces more heat because the heat is required to break down the fats and carbs. So now you have another reason to cut down on fatty and greasy food. Number 4. Drink more water. Before we even begin, we'd like to remind you that we did a video on how much water you should drink every day. So we aren't going to explain the same thing over again. Instead, we're going to focus on what would happen if you don't drink enough water. Not drinking enough water could cause problems for some of the normal biochemical functions of the body. It could lead to not having enough oxygen in your body as well because of the spike in blood pressure. None of that is good for your heart. More importantly, not staying hydrated will produce more body heat, meaning that you'll feel more heat, and as a result of that, you'll sweat even more. Do you want to avoid that? If yes, then drink more water. Number 5. Use antiperspirants before going to sleep. Your body has a lot of sweat glands that are responsible for releasing the sweat. Here's the thing, you need to sweat in a lot of cases. The problem is when you sweat too much. What if you could sweat and the sweat wouldn't appear on your skin? That's exactly what antiperspirants could do. Applying them on your skin just before going to sleep could do wonders in stopping the sweat from appearing on your body. While deodorants are a good alternative to antiperspirants, they aren't necessarily very effective. They can't really stop the sweat from appearing on your skin. Instead, antiperspirants are more useful, especially if applied when your underarms are clean. Of course, it may not work right away, so stick to it for a few nights and you'll see that it starts working after a certain amount of time. Number 6. Avoid spicy food. We swear we aren't trying to change your food habits. It's just a temporary change that you can try during summers before you go all out spice in the winters. In the winter, the extra body heat can actually help. Meanwhile, the same thing can't be said in the summers where the extra body heat means that your body will produce more sweat through your sweat glands. Yes, spicy foods generate more body heat and hence you sweat more. You should try to avoid it at all costs. In case you think it's hard for you to avoid your source, then try and eat all those citric fruits. Lemon especially could be very effective when it comes to dealing with spice and reducing body heat. This brings us to our next point. Number 7. Have more citric fruits. Citric fruits contain that natural glucose instead of the artificial one. This glucose could help you stay energized for a longer period of time. Fruits like lemons, grapefruits, and kiwi might be very effective when it comes to avoiding excessive body heat. The best part about these fruits is you can have them in as many ways as you want to have them. They're very, very versatile. You can have them in a smoothie, as an ice cream, as well as a juice. You have a lot of options. If none of these things interest you, then you can try making fruit salads out of them. As we mentioned before, these fruits are very versatile. With all that out of the way, let us take a look at some of the medical methods that we can use to avoid perspiring. Or for that matter, for the sweat to ruin our skin. Number 8. Oral medication. Oral medication is perhaps one of the most effective methods for reducing the flow of perspiration. While we wouldn't suggest that you take enough medication not to sweat at all, as that could have dire effects on your body, blocking out most of the sweat could prove to be very helpful. However, blocking out all of it could mean that a lot of toxic waste in your body will remain inside of you. You don't want that, and that's why there should be some amount of control as far as oral medication is concerned. More importantly, there are some side effects when it comes to using medication. For example, you could end up with blurred vision, dry mouth, or even some neurological problem. You don't want that. So make sure you follow your doctor's advice and don't overdo it. Number 9. Antidepressants. A lot of the time, you might sweat for mental problems. This is especially true if you have anxiety or depression. In such cases, you might sweat a lot more than you probably would like to admit. It won't be a good idea for you to be that way. One option for you to try in such a case would be to consume your intake of antidepressants. This includes foods that have antidepressants in them. For example, dark chocolates and chamomile tea are good things for you to try to consume. Prescribed antidepressant medication could also be used as long as you're keeping control over the intake. Too much prescribed antidepressants could lead to mood swings, erratic behavior, headaches, and depression. So be careful and make sure to consult your doctor properly before you go ahead and consume one of these antidepressants. Number 10. Surgery. Yes, in case you're really fed up with all the sweat that drips from your sweat glands, you can simply remove them. There are many forms of surgery that are usually advised by doctors in terms of extreme cases. In most cases, a doctor probably won't recommend it, as it comes with a lot of problems. What problems? Well, the same ones we mentioned earlier for oral medications and headaches, along with some mental and physical problems. So, do you sweat too much? Do you know anyone who sweats too much? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Enjoyed this video? Hit like, share, and subscribe to Bestie. Wait! What kind of Bestie would we be if we didn't tell you about our other awesome videos? Go ahead, choose the left or right video and enjoy.